Right now you step outside. Sun hits your face. Warm. Familiar. You barely notice. 20,000 years ago, that same ball of fire wasn't just weather. It was a god. Angry. Alive. And if you didn't worship it exactly right, you died. The answer changes everything. You're crouched on cracked earth. Dawn cracks open the sky. Your breath fogs in the freezing dark. Then it rises, slow, massive. Heat slams into your chest like a fist. You drop to your knees. Instinct. No one taught you. The sun simply demands it. Without it, the night owns everything. Wolves circle. Hunger claws your belly. Your kids shiver until their lips turn blue. So you chant. You raise your arms. You scream, thanks, until your throat bleeds raw. But here's what's fascinating. The sun wasn't kind. It played God with your entire world. One day it gave life. Next day it took it back. Scorching plains until rivers vanished. Your people watched the sky like it was a living thing deciding their fate. You track every move. You memorize the exact spot where it kisses the horizon on the longest day. Stonehenge builders did the same. They dragged 80-ton boulders miles just to line up with that sunrise. Not decoration, prayer in rock. Short bursts hit harder than you expect. Life, death, sun decides. Longer truths sink in deeper. Your ancestors noticed how the sun pulled the seasons like invisible strings. Short winter days meant frozen starvation. Longer summer light meant berries bursting and herds thundering past. They didn't have calendars. They had terror and gratitude braided together so tight, they carved spirals into cave walls. Spirals that still match the sun's yearly path. Exact, deliberate. You feel it in your bones on the winter solstice. Darkness wins for a moment. The sun barely scrapes the horizon. Your tribe gathers around a single fire. You beat drums until your palms split. Because if the sun doesn't return tomorrow, game over. No second chances. Archaeologists keep finding these moments frozen in time. Newgrange in Ireland, a passage tomb older than the pyramids. Once a year, the rising sun shoots straight down the tunnel and lights up the burial chamber like a spotlight from heaven. Your dead ancestors got to see it one last time. That wasn't coincidence. That was hope dressed up as architecture. But the part nobody talks about? Worship came with teeth. You didn't just bow. Sometimes you bled. In some valleys, they left offerings that still haunt us. Tiny bones, broken tools. Once in a while, a life. Not every day. Only when the sun turned cruel and the rains forgot to fall. You chose the offering because the alternative was watching everyone starve slowly. This wasn't blind fear. It was razor-sharp logic. The sun controlled the hunt. It warmed the ground so roots pushed upward. It told you when to move camp. Miss the signal and your whole group vanished from the earth without a trace. You learned its moods the hard way. Too weak in winter and everything dies. Too fierce in summer and rivers turn to dust. Balance mattered more than anything. So you invented rituals. Dances that mirrored the sun's path across the sky. Songs that rose and fell with its height. You painted your body in ochre, the exact color of sunrise, so the god would recognize you as one of its own. Fast forward a few thousand years, and the pattern explodes. Egyptians called it Ra, and built temples so huge the shadows told time better than any clock. Inca emperors claimed direct bloodline from Inti, the sun itself. They weren't copying each other. They were all answering the same screaming need hardwired into human DNA. You stand on a ridge now. Midday, sun directly overhead, no shadow. That moment felt holy. You lift a hand, and for a heartbeat, you block the entire god from view. Power surges through you. Then you drop the hand. The sun wins again, always. Scientists today scan ancient skulls and find vitamin D deficiencies that would have crippled entire tribes without enough sunlight. They study ice cores and see how solar cycles matched every major migration. Your ancestors didn't need microscopes. They felt the truth in empty stomachs and burning skin. Here's the twist that still stings. The sun didn't just give light, it gave meaning. Every single day it rose and proved the world hadn't ended. That single act became proof that something bigger cared, or at least followed rules you could learn, predict, maybe even influence. You whisper prayers into the wind. You stack stones in perfect circles. You watch the solstice like it's the most important event of your life, because it is. And then one day you notice something new. The sun keeps its promises. Every single year. That reliability births something dangerous. Hope. Real hope. The kind that lets you plant seeds instead of just foraging. The kind that lets you stay in one place instead of wandering until your feet bleed. That hope changes your species forever. But here's the darker flip side nobody puts in the textbooks. When the sun finally betrayed you, when clouds swallowed it for weeks or droughts cracked the earth open, the betrayal cut deeper than any predator's teeth. Because gods aren't supposed to fail, yet sometimes they did. And when they did, your people paid in ways that still echo in our bones. You survive anyway. You adapt. You keep worshiping because the alternative is admitting the universe is indifferent. And that thought is colder than any Ice Age night. Today you wake up. You check your phone. Weather app says sunny. You smile without thinking. You flip on lights at night like it's nothing. You never once kneel when the first ray hits your window. We gain control. Electric suns that never set. Greenhouses that laugh at seasons. Science that explains every flare and eclipse. We lost something raw. That bone-deep awe when the sky catches fire and you remember you're tiny, temporary, lucky. We traded the terror and wonder for convenience and forgot the God was never just a ball of gas. It was the reason we bothered to open our eyes each morning. Next time you feel the sun on your skin, pause. Really pause. Feel the heat sink in. Imagine your ancestors watching the same sky, chanting, bleeding, hoping, because somewhere deep down you still know the sun never stopped being a god. It just stopped demanding you notice.